All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the LA Soccer Hub Show. My name is Gio Garcia. Today's Thursday, March 25th. Got a lot to get into, man. A lot to get into this week. Today, the U.S. men's national team played. They won. They got the dub. That was exciting to see them play and see the type of talent that is out there in Europe. And then we also got the new MLS 2021 schedule was finally released. We're also going to talk LAFC. When we always talk black and gold, we got my man Garrett Rodriguez. Garrett, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Gio? Doing really well. Really excited. Big week, full of news, games, you name it, we got it. So I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah, man, we got so much to get into. I mean, like I said, this week was a busy week. I mean, we also
Mhm.
had scrimmages that we didn't know about. A lot of stuff like that. But before we get into it, man, like what's up, man? What you been up to? What's been going on with you on the Twitter world? I know you're always putting up some good polls and stuff. What's the life of Gary Rodriguez been like these last couple of
Uh,
days?
it's been pretty cool, man. I did some preseason polls, which were interesting. I think I did about 10 of them. I think you retweeted, I think one or a couple, just trying to get people's feel on how they're feeling and what they're thinking about going into the season. I could read a couple if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, let's
That's
hear.
cool. I know obviously this is only small, percentage of votes here. This is make up the whole fan base, but I just one of the questions is starting midfield trio. Out of 121 votes, the winner for the trio picked was Atuesta, Cifuentes, and Blessing at 57%. Second place was Atuesta, Mark Anthony K. Blessing at 23%. So that kind of tells you, who we want starting the trio. Who will be our most important player this season? Vela got the vote at 54%, at West at 30%, Rossi at 13%, and other was 3%. I honestly think Vela will be obviously our most important player again, but Rossi is not that far behind. And honestly, all three of them are really important. So it's really hard to choose which one's going to be the most important. And the next one that I thought would be pretty interesting was with the current squad, what will we achieve? 94 votes were tallied in this poll. 56% said MLS Cup. The second place was 21%, one and done in playoffs. And then third place was Porter Shield at 14%. This one was interesting, though. This is the last one, and I'll cut off on there. If we get bounced in the first round of playoffs or fail to make playoffs, what should happen? 111 votes on this one. This is the interesting one, which is kind of wow.
This is
Standards.
dicey.
Okay. This is we go. I put the
What were the
so these
options
are
though?
the
What were
the
the
option
options?
the options were bin Bob, bin Thorrington, bin both, or we go again next year. We go again next year came as the winner at 51%. Second place was bin Bob at 24%. So I guess a lot of people are very forgiving and give second chance. Well, I guess four chances now. So
Those are
I
the
guess
way,
we'll
you know how ESPN does like the way too early predictions? This is like the way too early polls on that one.
exactly. Yeah, exactly, man. So I just wanted to get a feel for it. People have their opinions and whatnot, but the standards, I guess, are if we one and done in the playoffs, to me, that's not good at all. But
Well, we
I'm
don't,
not.
we
I'll
don't,
just
we
leave it at
don't, we
that.
don't
I'll
know.
just leave
We
it at
don't need
that.
to get down that road just yet. We
Yeah,
we still
not
we still
yet.
got to the end of the year. But I mean,
Right.
before
Yeah.
we get way too into it, man. I gotta say,
Yeah.
man, rest in peace to Mo Fascio. He was a VP,
Hmm.
vice president of the 3252. Obviously,
Hmm.
by now, I think everybody knows, what happened. Obviously, he lost his battle to COVID. It's very unfortunate, and it brings, the reality, at least to me, it brought the reality back of, of what the current situation that we're still dealing with. And, I didn't, I briefly met Mo, but I didn't have a relationship, so I've heard all these great things and stuff, and I can't say,
Yeah.
hey, I did this with them or anything. But just, I mean, just seeing him at the games and just seeing the passion, how much he had for this club. I know he's there. He's gonna be missed dearly. Um, and I just kind of want to acknowledge him, and it just like in a such short period of what, him being the vice president, and obviously him passing away. It's very unfortunate, and I can't wait to see what LAFC does to like commemorate him, because I mean that's what LAFC is built off, right? The fan
Yeah.
base, and it's very unfortunate, that this happened to him. This happened to the LAFC family, the community,
Right.
But I guess the bright side, if there is a bright side, is how everybody came together, how everybody went to the Bank of California and remembered him, right? And put
Mhm.
photos of him and everything, and candles and all that, and flowers, and I just want to salute those people
Mhm.
that were there, and I'm just gonna pray for him and his family, to, if there's any way they could come out of this, I just pray for them.
Yeah, no, my condolences to his family, 3252 family, everyone that was affected by this. I never met him, I didn't know him personally at all, but I've seen the beautiful pictures of him cheering in the stands. It looks like he touched a lot of people's hearts, and he's a very important figure, not only in for LAFC, but in the community as well. It's very sad, and that just tells you how horrible this virus is. It's been a year now, and it's just sad times, and I hope LAFC does do a great job of honoring him. I would expect maybe an armband to be worn for some of the games, or hopefully some way to honor him. In the stands, on a patch, something. Very important figure. So rest in peace, and my condolences again to the family of him, and also anyone that was very close to him. Very
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, no, it was a very difficult situation,
Mhm.
so just wanted to get that out there before we got too into it. Obviously today also, the US men's national team played. They
Yes.
ended up beating Jamaica
Jamaica.
4-1. The beginning though, it was not
Not
looking
pretty.
good. It was
Nope.
not pretty. It was kind of an ugly game. And I think at times, some players were trying to do a little too much. And I think also it was a little bit of rhythm. The rhythm's not there because these players haven't really fully played with each other. But one thing I did see and I did like was Serginho Dest on the left back side, and obviously we know he plays right back at Barcelona, but we know the U.S. men's national team doesn't have that left that has that left spot open, and Serginho Dest looked good. He looked solid, and he also scored a goal in the first half. He had a beautiful goal outside the 18, was
Yeah.
just a thing of beauty, man. And you just see that his talent, and he seems to get better and better. Obviously, playing with Barcelona, you would expect that.
Hmm.
Obviously, they ended up winning. They ended up winning 4-1.
Yep.
Brendan Harrison, Asabi came in, scored in the 52nd minute. Sebastian Lletget, he scored 2 goals. He's looking really solid as
Yeah.
well. Overall, though, I know he's an LA Galaxy guy, but I
Not
mean,
only that, I no, he's not good enough, dude. I'm sorry.
I
I
think
don't
he
think
is.
he's good.
I think he is though. I think
Just
he is because of the way he's been shown. He's been consistent, right? He's been consistent with the U.S. men's national team. He's the only player that's been called up every single game. You know.
yeah, you know why? You see who the coach is, Greg Berhalter.
I know you don't
Yeah.
like the coach, but
Nope. Nope. We're not. I'm telling you right now, we're not going to go anywhere. Nope. We're
what
not
what
going
is
anywhere.
what is your definition not going anywhere? What is that
That
though?
that we're hyping the team too much. I'm a big believer in the squad. The talent's there. It's really raw. If we had a good manager, we would go somewhere. This guy,
What
this guy's
don't
out
you
of his.
like about Greg Berhalter? Because I seen your tweets. What don't you like about him?
He's out of his depth,
Is it
bro.
his last name? Because it's hard to
No,
pronounce.
no, because he got the job because his brother was. It's like if you know someone, you get that job, right? If you're in a high company, yeah, I got a brother. He doesn't really know much, but maybe we can work him in. That's pretty much the same thing that happened here. An
It's
MLS
connections,
coach getting
man. This
this
is what
job.
this life is
It's
about,
connections.
though. This is what's.
Greg Berhalter, that's our coach.
I mean, I think at this point, it's just you just got. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Well, yeah, I do. I'm not. I'm looking forward to it, but Greg's not the answer. He's
I
definitely not the answer,
well, I
bro.
want to see how they look with the fully fit team when you get Tyler Adams. But let's talk about this game, right? This game was ugly. Let's
Yeah,
finish
yeah.
talking about this game.
Mhm.
What up, kid? Kid is in the chat.
All
But
right.
like this game for the U.S. men's national team was ugly. They got scored on. They shouldn't have been
Yeah.
scored on, but Jamaica. Um,
Mhm.
but at the same time, some people are still getting their feet wet. A lot of players are still getting the feet wet. You're still going to find out who's going to, play at that right back. Is it going to be Reggie Cannon? Is it going to be, who is it? Antoine Robinson on that side,
Anthony Robinson from
Anthony
Fulham. Mhm.
Robinson. Yeah. It's like, there's still some pieces that you don't know, right? Pulisic looked good on the left hand side, paired up with Serginho Dest, but I think they still got to get to know each other a lot more. I think Gio Reyna he looked a little off. he looked a little bit off.
A little off, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Josh Sargent looked good, even though he didn't get a score, but he got an assist. I like what I saw from
Yeah.
Josh Sargent.
If he
Um,
could become that hold up man, that would be really good, because I don't want to
yeah,
see Josie on this team again ever. So
I
hopefully,
don't, I don't, I don't, I don't really see Josie being on this team.
well, it's
There's
Greg, so I don't know. He
there's too
might call
much.
up. Yeah,
There's too many options. Even though there isn't an option, but I feel like there's too many options other than Josie Altidore. But
well,
I
yeah,
want to see
yeah,
them when they play against World Cup qualifiers. I know this is just the exhibition matches and stuff, but I just got to see when they play against Mexico. That's the biggest test, right? In Concacaf for everybody, right?
yeah.
It's Mexico, and that's how we have to see. And Kid in the chat says Berhalter doesn't necessarily light a fight under people, so I
Thank
guess
you,
he's with you.
thank
He's
you,
with you.
thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll tell you right now, in Concacaf, if let's say for example, we're doing the qualifications, right, and we lose to Mexico, okay, and then we play Costa Rica, we lose to Costa Rica, and then we lose to Canada, who we actually have lost to under Berhalter, by the way. Um, I think if he gets more than three losses in the qualifying, he needs to be banned. I don't
Yeah,
trust him in
I hope
I
that
don't
doesn't.
trust him in high pressure
I don't know.
settings.
I hope with this much talent, there's no way that could happen. But you're
I
gonna
got the
lose a game.
yeah.
You're gonna lose it. You're definitely gonna lose a game. You're definitely gonna lose a game. I mean,
I
Costa
got the
Rica's pretty
perfect
strong.
replacement though. Yeah.
Who
Um,
who would be your instant replacement?
I might be a little biased here. I might sound a little out of my a little crazy, but Arsene Wenger would be perfect for this team. He'd be perfect. He'd be perfect. He'd be perfect. I swear, he'd be perfect for this team.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Perfect.
We'll put
He's
that.
commented already.
We'll put that in the
He's commented
suggestion
already on
box.
them.
That he's
Yeah,
interested.
he said that this team has a lot of talent and he likes the way they look. So I mean, he's not doing anything. I mean, since my team canned him, but um, I think he'd be perfect for a World Cup run with this team to get
We'll
them in
see.
shape and get them attacking. So you know,
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. And then Kid says in the chat, no one has been as consistent and reliable for Berhalter than Leggett. Amen. I agree. Leggett has been consistent. He's taking corner kicks. Obviously, I know Leggett is not an LAC guy, but I mean, if he is
no,
men's national team, he's been consistent. He
yeah,
scored 2 goals. Scoring 2 goals in any type of international competition is scoring 2 goals. You just can't take that away. Whether it's Jamaica, whether it's wherever, he's been consistent. He's been scoring. So I got to give that to him. And he
mhm,
looks in full form. I got to give it to him.
yeah. If he starts against Mexico and Costa Rica and these teams in qualification, and he's looking out of his depth, then we'll figure it out from there.
Mm. Got an interesting comment from Romaldinho10. He said, what do you think of the rumor that LAFC is interested in the Japanese winger from Saudi Arabia league? His name is Mikuchi Isuchi. I'll be honest with
Dude,
you.
I think you got. I don't think that's a real player. If you read that name slowly,
Yeah.
I don't think that.
That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
That was
that's not a real
good.
player.
That
Yeah,
was
that's.
good. Okay. Romaldinho, I give you credit for that.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling it was. Yeah,
That
no.
was good. I'm gonna keep my eye
That's
on
good.
you. I was like,
Yep.
who the hell is this guy? Hey,
Yep. Yep.
props for you, man. And
Yeah, I
I
like
like what
that.
you're doing. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
That's
You want to
funny.
be a
Yeah,
little,
that's
if you
good.
want to be a little naughty, Ronaldinho, I hope you're laughing and watching this. But hey, man, that's just the way it goes. I'm like, who the hell is this? But hey, man, now you're on my radar. So now I'm just gonna look at your comments and take a double take. But
Oh, that's good, man. I like that.
bro, that was actually really good. So I can't
Yeah.
even hate on that. I actually can't even hate on it. I'm not gonna repeat it because then I realized it when I was like, gotcha.
As soon as you said it, as soon as I don't know, that was really random. The player in the league, and I was like, okay,
I
let's see
was
where this is
like
going. And as soon as you
Japanese.
said it, I was like, okay, well, all right.
Yo, man.
Awesome.
Hey, shout out to you, but at the same time, I'm watching out for you. But anyway, let's move on. All right, let's talk about
Okay.
the schedule. So the schedule was released. We found out all the information. Obviously, we already knew LAFC was going to open up with LAFC with excuse me, Austin FC. April 17th. And then they're going to have another home opener against, the Seattle Sounders. And then they go to away. I'm just going to name the first four games. Oh, then they go away May 1st to Houston, and then they're away at Dignity Health Sports Park. The interesting thing, three LAFC versus LA Galaxy games in the schedule. I know some people think that's way too much. Obviously after last season, but I feel like at first I thought it was too much, but then I was like, you know what? Because I know people are typically used to Classicos being, two games, but I think the third game makes it good. I don't know. I don't know, and they're spread out far enough. There's going to be two at the Dignity Health Sports Park, and one at
Yeah.
the Bank of California Stadium. Um,
Uh,
so I don't mind them playing three games.
no.
What do you think of this?
Every time they play each other, it's always fireworks. So the more the merrier. I can understand the overkill. I mean, if we had five or six, I mean, it might be a little too much, especially if one team has already 4 wins against the other one, and the other one, the fifth game won't matter. But having three spread out, I think that's awesome. Especially if they somehow meet in the playoffs again. Like the one time, which it could happen, depending on how each team plays out. But I'm excited to see three different derbies, between LAFC and Galaxy. The first four games are going to be tough, opening against Austin and then Seattle are kryptonite right now. That team has our number. Houston, I'm not really too worried about them. It is an away day though, like you said. So that should be a little worry. But nah, I think we should get at least out of those 4 games. I'm hoping to get 10 points out of the first 4 games. That'd be great. Start off on a good foot.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, Austin FC. I think. that can be a win. I mean, that has to be a win. Seattle. I don't know. That's gonna be tough. Houston. I don't know how strong Houston is, but I mean, I see. Like I said, Houston and FC, Austin FC, very very winnable games. That's 6 points
Yeah,
right there.
exactly.
Seattle, it could be even. You could get one
Yeah,
point, but you don't want to lose at home. And then LA Galaxy, you don't have to travel.
no,
You get to stay in the city, right? But that's always those games are always they're always so unpredictable. You don't know even if someone has the edge in those games, no one has the edge. We've seen it time and time again. It doesn't matter. Those games are so unpredictable. So May 8th, 5 days after Cinco de Mayo. So I'm looking forward to that one. It's a Saturday at 5 p.m. Very interesting time that they did it at 5 p.m. But I mean,
yeah.
I know it's gonna be a packed house. Well, I don't. I shouldn't say it's
That
gonna be a packed
yeah,
house. It's gonna be as
virtually
packed as it.
packed.
It's gonna be as packed as it
It can
can
be.
be, right? And I think you have to have three games because every fans missed out on going to these games last season. I
Oh
was
yeah.
able to I was able to go all three of them because obviously I was able to cover them, but as if it was not the same atmosphere though, it was not the same atmosphere without the fans. And I think, having three games now, think about it, that it's not bad. And I actually like it because
Right.
that's what makes this rivalry the best. It's LAFC versus LA Galaxy, the fans going at it, incredible
Hmm.
goals, and we still have yet to see Vela Vela versus Chicharito. And I think we're probably gonna get
Yeah.
that May 8th if everybody's healthy.
Yeah, we get Vela against a Twitch streamer. That should be pretty good.
Right.
And then we'll get, and then, sorry. So, and then plus the good news of the vaccinations in California, everyone will be eligible by April 16th, which is really good news if you want to go to a game coming up and they let fans in, you'll feel a little bit safer maybe, and this is probably the best news MLS could have got, as if you're a California team. So that's great news there if you're an LAFC fan. Yeah, I'm excited to see this rivalry kick off again. I'm sure it's going to be heated. We don't forget about the past. I just want to go 3-0-0. 3 wins, 0 ties, 0 losses against Galaxy. But we'll see. Sometimes it's very close. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And talking about, obviously LAFC and LA Galaxy, they had a secret scrimmage at the Ben California Stadium yesterday. We know
Hmm.
because of Chicharito via Twitch. Someone asked him, yeah, someone asked him and he answered it on Twitch. So there's no lie. This really happened, and the game was 4-4. They ended up tying
Crazy.
4-4, and then obviously the video that I share, Danny Trejo, he ended up scoring. Obviously, it was such a far shot, so we don't know if he scored, if he scored on the first team or whatever, the first team
Mhm.
of LA Galaxy or whatever. But nevertheless, whenever you're able to score against your arch rival, it's always a good thing, right? He was able to post it and
Right.
stuff, and that's always a good thing, right? When you're able to post that,
Yeah.
So it was very interesting how secretive they were about this, So I wonder how many, because the LAFC had a scrimmage, right? I think it was last Friday. Team scrimmage between each other, and then so they had this
Mhm.
scrimmage, and obviously we know the two of, I think, two against
New England.
New England
Yeah.
Revolution. So if you include that, they're probably gonna have four. And I know
4 games. Yeah.
four scrimmages, and on the other side, Galaxy have eight. We'll have eight total scrimmages before the season starts. So I wonder if there's any
Interesting.
more secret scrimmages that the LAFC will have. Because I think there's still some pieces.
Hmm.
There's still some pieces that you have to figure out, but it's good. I think 4-4. Obviously, we don't know anything. That like seemed like they really wanted to keep everything hush hush. They didn't really want
Right.
to share too much information. Even the video that I posted, so many people, well, not so many people, a couple people, were reaching out to me to take down a video that a player posted. Doesn't make sense. The player posted it, and I reshared his
Yeah.
highlight, and
So what
people
are
are
you gonna?
reaching
Yeah.
out to me to take it down. I'm literally highlighting your player to
Yeah. Tell the player to
share.
take it down then. So I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
It's sick.
that's what I don't understand. If you don't want stuff like that out there, you know, don't post it out there. I'm just trying to highlight either if it's an LAFC player
Yeah.
or LA Galaxy player. That stuff that's out there is already out there. And
Just
it's a
like the
highlight.
jersey's been. Yeah. Everything gets leaked somewhere, somehow. So it is what it is. It's not like no secret. I mean, he scored a goal. It's not like we saw a brilliant game plan come to life in a matter of minutes. It was a goal from a player who just got drafted. So I'm sure he was excited to post it. Correct.
Yeah, definitely. He
Yeah.
was
So there
definitely
you go.
excited. That's what it
Yeah.
was, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always find it interesting when people reach out and they feel some type of way, and I'm just like, I'm just here to
People are
share
bored.
good. Yeah, just here to share good
People are bored,
information,
man.
man. Just here to share some
Yep.
really good information. Um, but yeah, that ended up happening. It was very secretive, but people still
Mhm.
find out. People still find out. Fans
Yeah.
want to know, like even fans from LA Galaxy, like, hey, do you have any LA Galaxy videos? Do you have any? I was like, no, this is how secretive it was. But that was the only video that was out there. There's some videos that LA Galaxy players were posted that they were at the stadium, so that's how a lot of people found out. That's how a lot of people from the LA Galaxy family found out. And fans follow everybody. Fans follow every single player, and they're gonna find out about these things. They're gonna find out different
Yeah.
things. So it's like it's gonna get out there, one way or another. But one thing that I do think is very interesting, I think it's the situation that's coming up with Eduardo Tuesta. I think Tom Bogart ended up tweeting about Eduardo Tuesta with Palmeiras and what's the other team? I forgot. Gremio.
Gremio. Gremio.
Gremio.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, so I think that's very interesting that's coming out because well, I guess yeah, I'm assuming he just asked and that's what they told him. But
Mhm.
um does the move for a Tuesta to a Brazilian club make sense? I don't
No.
know. You know?
No, no, it doesn't because, well, I mean, yeah, I understand Palmeiras, won what was it, the Copa Libertadores, I believe, and
Mhm.
they're a fairly pretty big club in Brazil, but I can't see Atuesta like we talked about last week, I believe, that he would move to Palmeiras out of all clubs. And maybe it's to be closer to his family, but right now Brazil is like COVID hotspot number one. Like it is crazy down there. I mean, that could be a reason I wouldn't want to move to a club in Brazil right now. I'm not saying USA is perfect in any way or form handling COVID, but I mean, I wouldn't want to go down there for COVID reasons. Plus, if I'm at Tuesta, I have aspirations to play in Spain or Italy or Germany or even maybe Mexico, like a big club like Club America. Or well, I guess if there's Chivas Guadalajara fans, I mean, I don't know why he would go down there, but maybe down there. But something like that, like a big club. And I can't see Palmeiras or Gremio being those clubs. I really can't. But also, the other scary thing is if this rumor picks up and he ends up being sold in the next month or so, or for some reason, that would be kind of strange because why would you be doing that when LAFC is just about to kick things off?
Yeah,
You know,
and that's what I think I find it so interesting. I was like right before the season, and like, just to read Tom's tweet, it says on the reports linking LAFC's Eduardo Suesto, Palmeiras, and Grêmio, I'm told these have been preliminary discussions with multiple Brazilian clubs. Nothing advanced imminent yet. He wouldn't be cheap. Okay, is this? I mean, is this one or two things that I think it's this is LAFC's trying to make, they see that they can make money off of Twister, which I'm assuming they can. But to me, it's like, don't you feel like you would make more on the European side and that would be better for the LAFC brand? You know, and
correct.
another side thing is this where Eduardo Tuesta wants to go? Or is this, does he want to be closer to home? Because last time I heard him on the press call, he was asked about Europe. He obviously these rumors hadn't come up yet, and he said he was just focused on LAFC. He was focused on LAFC.
Winning
So I think,
trophies.
yeah, and winning trophies with LA, right, with LAFC. So I think right now when I look at this rumor, I don't buy into it, but I know, but there's always that slight chance that it could potentially happen. But then when I think about it more, Brazil, that's hard for me. It's hard for me. It's hard for someone to sell me on that is gonna build the brand and that's gonna grow. Because I think the move is Europe. The move is Europe, and if it's not Europe and it's back to a Brazilian club, which there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
Brazil or anything like that, but I think
yeah,
the move is Europe, and if he ends up going or something happens and they offer LAFC something that can't pass up, I think it's way too early when the season's about to start in like 2 3 weeks.
yeah. I don't. I mean, if they're offering like 20 million, maybe maybe you snap their hands and say, okay, sure. But then you're left with a midfield of Cifuentes, Mark Anthony K, Ganella, and Blessing, and I'm not really comfortable without Atuesta at the beginning of the season, especially against the first four games, which we talked about: Seattle, Galaxy, the new Austin FC, and you're playing away at Houston as well. So I mean, the schedule's going to be tough, and we're going to need, we got U.S. Open Cup, we got the MLS season. We're going to have a lot of games to play through. We got COVID protocols as well. What if someone gets sick? Injuries happen. So I don't know. It's a bit weird to have this rumor just lingering around. I would like it to just go away. But if it's still there, I mean, maybe things will develop. Hopefully not, though. That's the thing. And if
Yeah,
a rumor does develop, let's hope it's, well, I don't hope, but sooner rather than later, a European club. That would probably be the most likely legit rumor, probably.
yeah, and also the schedule for LAFC isn't likely easy to start off the season, right? So, like I said, you got Seattle, you got LA Galaxy, you have Seattle again. When you go away, like you literally after playing LA Galaxy on May 8th, the next game is Seattle away. So it's just to start off the season, LAFC doesn't have an easy schedule, and for whatever reason, if you were to leave before the start of the season, I mean that this is a player that LAFC really missed in the final, in the CONCACAF final, and I don't really see this happening. But if it does pick up steam for whatever reason, I mean we'll be sure to be on it. But I think this is just, I mean, just Tom trying to get more information about the situation. Obviously, I think he's the heart and soul of LAFC when it comes on the field, and you see the difference when he's on the field, and you see the difference when he's off the field. And it's definitely a player that, and I don't think they're LAFC's on a point with their midfielders that, whoever comes off the bench for him can replace him. The LAFC is not there just yet, and potentially could be Cifuentes this season, or maybe not. Maybe they develop someone, but I really do see Cifuentes being that guy when Eduardo Tuesta steps away. But I think I see a Tuesta leaving towards the end of the season, maybe the summertime, but I feel like more towards the end of the season.
Yeah, if I see a starting midfield of Mark Anthony K and Ganella, I'm gonna be sick. So
Ganella
I
is
just
Janella, isn't it? Janella.
I don't care what his name is. Chicken with his head cut off, dude. He is terrible. He is crap. So I don't ever want to see him starting. After what I saw last season, in his shiny yellow boots and what he did on against Tigres. I don't ever want to see him starting, and I hope he. Yeah, I don't want to talk about
It's a
him.
new
Let's
season,
move on.
man. I think you got to forgive and forget. These are the horses LAFC has, and unfortunate for you, Janela is going to be on there. So I mean, I know
If
it's
he starts
hard.
the first game, if he starts the first game,
I don't think I don't.
Gio,
I don't know. I think we have to see how the preseason, but I don't really see him starting. I think he's a player. He comes off the bench. I mean, depending on injuries too. I don't know. I don't know, but we don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
yeah, yeah,
You
no,
know,
I don't.
but a potential rabbit hole that we may need to go into. Let's talk about these. These LAFC jerseys, right? We found out the
Oh,
flex. We found out Flex Tools. I thought it was a German company. I didn't even know the sponsor, right? Flex
um,
Tools is a new sponsor for LAFC.
yep.
We got we got photos of the new leak kit with the Flex logo on there. I want to call this a beige color, but I know people are going to say it's gold. That does not look gold to me.
Nope.
And then obviously we knew about the Los Angeles around the arm sleeves. The Flex black, being all black and beige. Are you buying this jersey?
That jersey is UGLY. Ugly. No, I am not buying it. Ugly. Nope. I'm not spending $90 on it. I
It's a
know.
tough sell, man.
No, it's not. You had all year, maybe 2 years to develop something like decent, and you can't really go wrong with black, gold, white. No, those are even red. You could have had a red, maybe away kit or something. It's ugly, dude. I'm not buying it. And then the home kit is not changing. It's just gonna be flex, so I'm not buying that either. So I don't know how many people are gonna buy the kit. Uh, you know, are you gonna buy it? Are you gonna be given one, or how's that gonna work?
I mean, we can make one happen. We can make one happen. We can get one. I'll get one a giveaway. I don't got a problem getting one.
If you get one, bring it on here. I want to see it on on the camera. See how it looks on.
The thing that's
Yeah.
interesting to me is this looks like a replica, right? The photo that I
Yes.
tweeted out looks
Yeah.
like a replica.
Hmm.
And I looked at Flex Power Tools, and their logos looks to be red. It looks like it's red. Now I'm wondering, why is the logo on this replica black? Is it to match the jersey? Because I feel like if Flex had their logo as red, it would make the jersey pop a little bit more. But the beige's color makes it, interesting. And I think we'll find out Sunday if this is going to be, if the Flex logo is going to be black and gold. Because we also did see a photo of Danny Masovsky with the old black, with the old black jersey with the Flex being gold. So I don't know if this is LAFC's way of being black and gold and staying away from the company's logo. Because when I look at Flex Power Tools, their logos are coming up red,
It's red and white. It's red
red
and
and
white.
white. It's looking red and white, and I don't see any red
Mhm.
and white. I see black, just black. So I just wonder what went wrong there. So I think we'll find out more Sunday if this is how the jerseys are gonna look, and this is how it's gonna come out. Because the photo that I look, I thought it was a replica, but now that I'm looking at it a little bit more, it looks like it may be unauthentic, but I can't really tell because it's the bottom. You can always tell by how round the bottom is or
Yeah.
not. So I can't really tell. So you know, it's tough, man. I think that just the black power tools, the black, and not that I don't know. I haven't really seen that many people on Instagram really excited about it. And I think I see the idea, I see where they were going, but now I realize, I think it's not their best jersey. It's just not their best jersey.
Nope. I don't like it at all. I won't be getting one, like I said. Maybe if a cool training kit, something comes out. I know they have the pink stuff, but I don't really want to get that either. I might be saving my money this season, to be honest, dude. And I'm not getting that
You're not
boombox
gonna
either.
spend that stimmy on the LAFC jersey, or what? You're not spending your stimulus check on the LAFC jersey?
I put that away like a good person should. So yeah, I'm not.
So none of your stimulus check is going to LAFC.
No, no, it is not. Definitely not. Not on the boombox. Not on the Adidas LAFC shoes they had at one point that no one can get, or whatever shoes they were. No, I'm not getting no training gear, no goalie jersey, no nothing. I'm rocking with the same stuff I had last season, dude. That's it. I can't because it doesn't a kit like the yellow Arsenal away kit that speaks to me. That's what I want. Something that sticks out, something cool. Or
Sorry, I'm
remember
sorry.
when
This is not Arsenal. You know,
I know, I know, I know. They always have cool stuff,
Arsenal
but
got some cool colors though. Arsenal got some
yeah,
cool colors. So
they got
I want
some
to know if
good
people in
kits.
the chat if they're buying this jersey, if they're LAFC fans, are you guys buying this jersey? Are you buying the flex jersey? I don't know if you guys have seen it, but are you guys buyers of this jersey? I'm very interested because I think it's a tough sell, man. I think I think it's a tough sell. You know, they had a shot to get it right with this new sponsor, and I don't think they got it right. You know, I don't know. It may look different if they change the logos, but I think it's a little too plain. It's just a little too plain, and it's not a
Yeah,
jersey. It's not a jersey that excites me.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of like military. They wear like that beige kind of color. Do you know
Mm,
what I'm talking about? Kind of
you're
like Sandstorm.
yeah,
Not the
yeah,
song, not the
yeah,
song,
yeah,
but the
yeah. Like the
that
camouflage. Yeah, the camouflage.
yeah, like camouflage beige. That's what it kind of looks like. Kind of like yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know which one I really liked was the white one with the stripes. With the stripes, that one I thought the white jersey with the stripes. I always
Mm.
thought that was a cool jersey.
Yeah, they've done a decent job, but this, yeah, no, not good. Especially coming out of the pandemic or on the way out, you would expect some, to see some good stuff. But we're not. I didn't see it. Maybe we'll change our opinions after we see it in person. But
I think
I don't think so.
it could happen, but I mean, I don't. From what I remember from our conversations when we first got the leak kits, I mean the drop, you know, the leaks of what the colors were going to be. It's slowly, you know, it's always been like, okay, how's this going to look? And then we see this, and we're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
no,
hey,
no.
if people got the stimulus check and they're going to buy this jersey, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not, you know. Hey, you
Or
want
the
to get something
boombox,
new?
or
You
the
want
boombox.
to? I feel like the boombox is too much money, man. Too much money. You know, it is too much money. You're gonna spend your stimulus check real quick with that
Almost all of
boombox.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is way too much money. But hey, man, we'll see what happens. It may be different once Carlos Vela starts scoring some goals. It may be different when Diego Rossi starts scoring some goals, and you know Eduardo Tuesta, you know, start making
Or
some.
or we get Aguero, then maybe I'll get the jersey. Then I don't know.
If Aguero comes, I mean that is a player that yeah you definitely would want to get a jersey with his name on your back. But yeah, man, I think flex and flex tools. Obviously, we know the jersey drop is going to be Sunday, but the momentum for this jersey, I have not felt it at all. I have not felt it. It feels like it's been kind of dead. It feels like it's they. It looks like they put a lot of thought into it, but the
Mm.
execution is just not there for me. You know, it's just not there. And like I said, I mean, we may change our mind when we see it. When we see it in our hands, it may be different. But right now, it is a tough sell. You know, and it's just like,
The best thing to do would be to get Vela to model it, Latif Blessing, and Kim Moon Wan. Those three.
yeah.
Because you got Vela, the main star, Blessing, who's a fan favorite, and Kim Moon Wan, who everyone's really hyped about, to model it. That would be probably your best shot to sell a lot of those kits.
Let's talk. You, I think you also didn't you. I think you had a poll about that, right? You had a poll about Kim Moon Wan or who you're most excited to see. Um,
Yeah, yeah, he stole it. Yeah, he was like the clear runner based on all the new signings for Farfan. I don't know if Cal Jennings is one of them. It didn't really matter. He's the
Corey
one
Baird,
everyone wants to see. Yeah, no one voted for him. The one that everyone really wants to see is Kim Moon Wan because obviously he's the one that has been hyped up the most. LAFC keeps tweeting about him every day. It seems like videos and pictures and gifs and whatnot. So he won that one, and the person that got voted for the most for a breakout, who's gonna have a breakout, is Opoku. I think won my poll on that one.
Apoku.
So I thought I kind of forgot about him a little bit. So, but he did score that banger in Concacaf. So hopefully he can build off of that. I think he has a shot to come off the bench and be maybe like like a not a 6 man but a 12th man, if you could say it like that. That'd be
Yeah.
actually pretty interesting. I could see that.
Yeah, and I think
Excited.
I'm, you forget how much, how much depth there is because, you don't really know who may be the starter right at striker, but there's, even a Poco could come off and potentially, be that striker, be that person for LAFC, and it makes it interesting, right? Of, who's potentially gonna be there. And, I even forgot about him as well, but that he has some explosion, and, like you said, he scored in CONCACAF, and you can also see what potentially his future may look like with LAFC, and what the type of talent that he may be able to develop there, right? And to your point, Kim Moon, I'm very interested to see how Kim Moon plays as a right back, because of all the attention and of all the marketing, everything that's gone into it, right? I'm very interested to see how he plays when they do open up for new against New England Revolution, right? And they have those games when we can go see. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on and how he does on the offensive side, because I think one thing that's been sort of lacking for LFC on that right back side is getting those crosses, getting those crosses from the right back into inside the box. And I want to see how offensive minded he is, how versatile he is with his foot, how he can assist people, how he can how we be paired up if there's Latif Blessing on that right hand side, or whoever it is next to him, how they are they going to make the runs and everything. I think that's the most interesting thing about Kim Won, the unknown, right? And
Mhm.
obviously, like so much attention that he's getting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of player he is. If he's going to be really good going forward, but then at the same time, is he going to be a liability in defense? Or will be the opposite, where he's really good at defense, or he can't really go forward at all, and that will be Diego Palacios' job. Um, so I'm excited to see how he's going to operate, and if he's even going to start the first couple of games. Maybe he won't start. Maybe it'll be Tristan Blackman. But it looks like you're hyping this guy up so much that he's going to be a starter on this team, and you don't pay the money to not. I mean, you drafted Tristan Blackman, you went out and signed this guy, so there's a difference.
Mm. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and it's TAM money too, and it's TAM money too. So we'll have to see, But another addition we should talk about, international call ups. Mark Anthony Gay got the call up for the Canadian national team. He made
Hmm.
the World Cup qualifying roster, which is good. And I think when you talk about Mark Anthony Gay, obviously we know that he plays for obviously for LAFC in the midfield, but from the Canadian side, I think they've had him play defense, which is very interesting.
Maybe maybe he's been playing the wrong position the whole time, for all we know. No, I'm just kidding. He definitely is a midfielder, but it's cool to see Mark Anthony Kaye. As much as I don't think he should be starting in our midfield, to see him getting called up for the Canadian national team, maybe that will boost his confidence. It's a good confidence booster. Get some game time for them. I think any player that gets called up for their national team is a good confidence booster. To see him playing with the likes of Alfonso Davis, you're playing with another great player, so can help boost it.
Yeah, so they played today. They ended up. I didn't watch the game. They beat Bermuda
Um,
5-1, and I'm looking here because I didn't watch the game, and I'm looking to see if Mark Anthony got some playing time.
go ahead and check that for you. It looks like he
Okay, he was on the
did.
bench.
Well, he was on the bench and he did not play at all. There you go.
Yep, he was on the bench, and yep, you're right. He didn't get to play.
I'm
So,
not gonna say
because
anything.
I know they've had him play left back, so it's I think also got to think that they're very strong in the midfield, and that's the international game's a whole nother level. The international game is a different story. It's a different beast. But another thing also, Alfonso Davies didn't play, so I don't obviously, and they also won 5-1. They beat,
Right.
so I don't know if this is a game that their head coach wanted to see other players. Obviously, he knows what he has with Alfonso Davies. You really don't know. You really don't need to play Alfonso Davies if you're playing against a team like Bermuda, like five when you beat them 5-1, right?
Right. And I'm looking at their starting 11. I didn't really realize this, that most of their 11 actually plays in Europe. Wow, I did not know that. With the exception of like two or three players that play in MLS, a lot of them play in Europe. I mean, not big. I mean, a lot of them play for Besiktas in the Portuguese league and the Turkish league. And Alfonso Davies obviously plays for Bayern Munich. And then you have Mark Anthony Kaye, who plays for LAFC. I remember. when I think LAFC, no, LAFC, I'm sorry, USA lost to Canada the first time, Mark Anthony Kaye was part of that team starting that beat USA. And ever since then, that's when we started to see the decline of Mark Anthony Kaye. Now he's riding the bench for Canada, and obviously he's been replaced. But I'm not saying that Mark Anthony Kaye is, done on Canada. I'm just saying that, you know, it's kind of telling that now he's on the bench.
Yeah, it's an exhibition game. I don't know. I'm not gonna make too much of it, but I think if he doesn't play for them, I think anytime, right, you want to see them get some playing time. Is there any other? I think Tomas Romero, the goalkeeper, for El
For El Salvador.
Salvador, for El
Mhm.
Salvador, I think he ended up playing. He got the start.
Mhm.
So it's like that's good, but like realistically, we don't see Tomas Romero starting for LAFC. This season. It's just too much. It's between Pablo Cisnegas and Kenneth Vermeer. So it's good for him. It's good that he's getting that playing time. And for all we know, man, later down the year or down the road, Tomas Romero could be the guy. You know,
Yeah, it
we're
could
not.
be.
We may
Could
not be
be.
giving this guy his credit, and he maybe down the road he is the guy, and we're just like, oh yeah, he got the start. Oh yeah, he's playing for El Salvador, and lo and behold, he may be the
He's a
guy.
savior. He's the
He may be
savior.
the guy. Think about that. Just think about
I
that.
hope so. No, I hope so because the two in front of him are no. I mean, they're probably just as good, or maybe just a little bit better for all we know. We still don't know who the goalie is. So
We don't. But I think if you flip a coin,
flip a coin. Yeah, yeah, flip a coin.
I think the
Oh
odds right now,
God,
if you flip a coin between, I mean, it's heads
it's
or
probably
tails.
Vermeer.
It's
It's
heads or
it's Ver.
tails. It's
It's
not clear. It's still not clear to me. It's just not clear. And
well,
like,
you're gonna have access, right, to some of the scrimmages, correct?
yeah. I should. I think when they play New England, I'm gonna go
Are you?
see. I'm gonna go see Galaxy this Saturday. So I gotta go see them this
I
Saturday.
don't. I don't care about them.
I know you don't care, but I
I just,
just
just kidding.
I
I
just
was
wanted to
kidding.
throw it out there. Look. I'm excited. I'm gonna go see some soccer. So,
There you
um,
go.
but yeah, LAFC they're gonna play. They got theirs on April 3rd. They don't play till April 3rd, so that's such a long time.
They could have a scrimmage in the meantime, another one maybe, like a
But I
secret
don't.
one.
They're not gonna let us go. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think
not the
they're.
secret one.
No, they're not gonna to their secret ones. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a couple more. Like one more. Like
Yeah,
from now to April 3rd, that's still like a whole nother week.
maybe against Las Vegas. We don't know about. That would
Yeah.
be interesting. Mm.
Yeah, so I mean, if you see April 3rd, I think I should be there. I should. They haven't said anything about media being there, but I'm assuming we're going to be there. It's a bank. That game's going to be a Bank of California Stadium.
Mhm.
New England is facing. They're playing LA. Actually, I think New England is doing their preseason out here because they're playing the Galaxy twice and then they're playing LAFC
Mhm.
twice. So I think they're doing their preseason out in Southern California.
If you're able to tweet the starting 11, please do that. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
I'll be sure. I'll be sure to try to get that information. Usually they're pretty good and they'll tell us who's starting and stuff. But like sometimes the
Mhm.
subs and trying to figure out who's subbing
Oh
who,
yeah, yeah,
what numbers who. I think that's always interesting. But I think even
yeah.
LFC will do that. Like if media is there, they tend to do. I remember one time, was it their second year? I think it was the second year. I went to a couple preseason games. Obviously there was no national TV rights or anything like that, and it was really cool because obviously there was no fans. That was my first time experience like with no fans, obviously prior to COVID,
Mhm.
and then
Right,
getting to see like the players, obviously getting to see them talk and everything, getting to see how they move and stuff, and it was more of an intimate setting because at the same time like back then that not that many media members would go to see preseason games. Now because of COVID, I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna want to go to the first
right.
LAFC preseason game, and it's on a Saturday too. So
Yeah.
we got dogs barking over here. I don't know if you're a dog bark.
No, you're good, man. They're excited for LAFC too. I don't blame
They can't
them.
wait. The suspense is killing them. But yeah, man, I think I mean there's a lot that from now to the start of the season for LAFC, right? But I think uh, when they have all these games, when they have what the schedule that they're gonna have right off the bat, playing against Matthew McConaughey's team. I don't know anybody else's on
Besides Matthew
F besides
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. And I'm sorry if I'm disrespecting anybody in Austin FC, but you guys didn't make any signings that
Me
I
either. I don't
you
know.
know that I feel are very significant. I don't know. And I think lo and behold, they could be the toughest test for LAFC. That first game is gonna be tough, and I have a feeling they're gonna come with their fans. I don't know how many fans are gonna be allowed there, but that's one another thing that I'm gonna try to get information on is how many fans
Mhm.
will be allowed for LAFC. I think if I'm not a season ticket holder or anything like that, but I think anybody listen to this, if they're a season ticket holder, you probably may have that information before I will, because if you're a season ticket holder, assuming I don't know how many people get let in
Yeah.
25, thirty
Like
percent I don't know what the charts and everything, by the time we get to April 17th or 18th, what they're going to be like, right? So it may change. That we may be at 60%, we may be at 50%, I don't know. I think the tiers are, I forget the tiers, but we may go on to that, since you said everybody is going to get vaccinated or has the opportunity to get vaccinated by April 16th. Maybe that opens, the doors for more, for more people. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
assuming people are going to have to wear masks and stuff.
Mhm.
I think that's going to be the norm. And I wonder at what point this, if it's even this year, when people won't have to wear masks at stadiums and stuff, because I think, come summertime, if everybody's feeling good, you know depending where you live.
Yeah. I'm hoping. Well, my guess, dude, the mask wearing is probably gonna stop. Fuck, man, if I had to make a guess, really educated, think about it, I would say March 2022, bro. That's just my guess. That's just my
I
guess.
I I think so, but not if you're in Texas or Florida, because mask are
Oh, that stopped. That already stopped already.
that stopped. But yeah, but another thing that's gonna be very interesting too is when LAFC goes and plays against Houston away or plays against Dallas. Those
Oh
stadiums are gonna be
man.
packed. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I tweeted
And
that if you
and
go travel, please be
and
careful.
yeah, if you go to Miami, right, whether Orlando, I think those are the only two teams in Florida.
I don't think we're playing against my. Well, are you talking in general? Are you talking in
Yeah, just in
general? Or?
general. I'm just talking in
Oh, okay,
general.
okay, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah, Miami. I'm assuming is there are you guys? No, there's no one. No, they're not going to Miami. But just in general, right? If you go to
yeah.
a Texas or Florida team,
Mm.
those teams have an advantage if they can fill out their stadiums. You know what I'm saying? More an advantage than you will have. To start the season. So I'm very interested to see how the stadium will look with partial fans. I know the 32-52, if they're spread out, still going to be rocking. You know, just
Yeah.
because
No
I
matter what, we're gonna be loud. No matter what, you can't stop it. It's gonna happen eventually. But like you said, there is an advantage. Just like in football, Dallas Cowboys. Well, they didn't really work because they suck. But Dallas Cowboys had fans really packed in there, and they had advantage, I guess you can say. So same thing with the Texas teams, the Florida teams, maybe even the Midwest teams. They might have an advantage. New York teams, I think, right now, the Knicks have fans in there. Miami, I was watching earlier, Miami Heat, they had fans. So sooner rather than later, everyone will kind of be equal, maybe, but not so much. If that makes kind of sense.
Yeah. Another thing to talk about, 16 of LAFC games will be nationally televised. I mean, so that's big,
Hmm.
right? And I think you would
Yeah.
expect that, right? Something for LAFC, right? To get national recognition and get to be put up there and get those many games out there, just to keep growing the brand. But I think the realistic expectations for LAFC, you want to see how they do because it's going to be such a tricky schedule, with World Cup qualifiers, such a trick
Mhm.
with Gold Cup, Nations League, and all the things happening this year, and then also transfer news, in the summertime. But one thing we didn't
Mhm.
talk about, Brian Rodriguez. Give us your Brian Rodriguez update.
Well, he came off the bench. I believe the other day on a game. I just had it up earlier. He played 14 minutes off the bench. I don't think we discussed that in the last episode, correct? Because the last game they played was Sunday, March 21st, which was what, 4 days ago. He didn't start this game. Came off the bench in the 76th minute. 14 minutes played, and they lost actually 2-1. And now Almeria sit third place behind second place Espanol by 2 points. So since they're in third place at the season ended today, they would be in that, like I talked about before, playoff promotion. So 3v6, 4v5, and then the final, winner take all. So yeah, not starting that game, they lost. I'm not saying, oh well, he didn't start, so they lost, but kind of weird. I don't know how good this coach is, but if he's gonna flip flop and stuff like that, it's kind of not healthy either.
Yeah, that's interesting that he goes. Obviously, we're not watching these games, and we're not
Mm-hmm.
obviously there. Like I'm not tuning into these games at all. But it's like he goes from
Mm-hmm.
starting playing 61 minutes. Was it a weaker team? Was it someone that was injured? Someone needed a day
Uh,
off, and
the
then he
team they
comes
played
back.
was in seventh place that they just lost to. That he got 14 minutes off of, and the team they play on Saturday, Leganes, is right behind them by 3 points. So that's a big game. Big
Yeah.
game.
Well, the Brian Rodriguez is the watch will always be on it, and I know you'll be on top of that because I mean,
Yes.
it's still very important, right? If you're LAFC,
Yes.
and unfortunate we have to talk about it, and whether we do or don't, it is what it is, and it's part of LAFC until they cut ties with them and they're able to sell him on and move on, or whatever he
Right.
ends up coming back. And I don't know if that's what people want to happen, but those are the situations, and that's what's going on with the LAFC. But
Right.
I just think the good news is he's out there, he's doing what he wants to do. That he ended up being out there. The other good news, we actually know the schedule. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
We know the
Schedule.
unknowns. We know
Yeah.
we
Just
know
the starting 11 is the only unknown left.
starting 11, and
Hmm.
who is the guy. Who is the guy.
Yeah.
And I think also like how, and I'm very interested in how things go for LAFC with Steve Sharondo and Las Vegas Knights. How that's going to work. Back and forth. How many players are going to send down there? You know, who's going to get a shot? Obviously we saw Danny Trejo. I think he's still a long ways away of getting an actual shot. Not because
Mm-hmm.
obviously I think there's too much competition in the spot where he plays, but
A
Las
lot.
Vegas Knights. I mean, Knights. I'm talking about the hockey. Las Vegas Lights is their team, and I think that's where he's going to get an opportunity. And who else,
Yeah.
right? So, you know, I don't got really too much, man. I know we're doing a later podcast than usual, but
Oh, all
I mean,
good,
I think
man.
that that
All good.
that's I had things I had to do. Oh, here we go. Black J Ops here on the chat says, "Is Almeria obligated to buy Rodriguez if they get promoted? What was the deal?" So LAFC is very cryptic. Was very cryptic about this deal. They didn't give out the specifications. They didn't want to talk. I asked about it. So I think part of the deal is if Almeria gets, they get to. I don't think they're obligated to buy Rodriguez, but I think part of the deal is if Almeria moves up to the first division. I think that's part of it. Another part of it is if um I think Brian Rodriguez does well. I don't know if he plays games, he's scoring goals that ties to the money. And it's been reported that the buyout clause is between 11 million and 19 million. So that's a buyout. That's where the numbers range. But like they
Hmm.
didn't want to share any of that information with me or with any reporters. They shared is that the buyout clause is from 11 to 19 million dollars. I think it's more closer to $11 million than that. But if
Right now,
Almeria
yeah.
if Almeria gets promoted, there's a high more than likely, let's put it this way, that Almeria will buy Brian Rodriguez, unless they just don't need him, and they're like, you know what, it was cool, we saw what you had, but we don't want you. That's the only way. But I think if they get promoted and Brian Rodriguez does good, I think they will buy him. They're not obligated, but it's at what price though? Because I don't know if Almeria is going to want to pay more than 11.5. To be honest with you,
Mm-mm. 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 I don't think so. I think the max they would pay would be eight. Max 8 mil.
That's low. I don't know. I don't think LAFC would lose them. That's the thing. Like we've always talked about. If LAFC doesn't pay, I mean, if LAFC doesn't sell him for at least what they paid for, I think he's
Yeah.
coming back. I think he's coming back. And I know some people don't
Oh
want to hear that,
man,
but you're talking about millions of dollars here,
yeah, he's
and
gonna ride the
I
bench probably.
and I know Brian probably wouldn't want that, but I mean, $11 million
Yeah,
I think is his price point. I think it's LA. Excuse me. I think it's LAFC's price point. I think that's the lowest they're willing to go. But I say if Almeida comes like, yo,
yeah.
we'll buy him for 10, we'll buy him for 9,
Take it, take it, take it, take it, take it.
then then I can see that, and then I'm like, oh,
Because
okay.
his value's dead.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, they're not obligated. Just to answer your question, they're not obligated if they get promoted, because you know they didn't share the details. So I think there's more to that deal than that. But man, yeah, that's gonna wrap it up, man. We've been rambling on last hour, but everybody, thank you guys for being on the chat and chatting with us,
Mhm.
and even even the guy
Ronaldinho.
that even the guy that got me, I'm gonna be watching for you, man. That was a good one.
Oh
Um,
man,
it's a later episode, so I'm not, I'm not all here. Just
not as alert.
not as alert, but it is what it is. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Obviously, we do this every Thursday night, typically at 7 p.m. But 9 p.m. today because I had to adjust some things. Obviously, thank you, Garrett, for being
Of
flexible and
course.
doing that with me. So yeah, guys,
Yes.
I know you guys in the chat. Make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast as well. Helps grow the channel. And if you guys are listening, join us on YouTube on typically Thursday nights at 7 p.m. So that's gonna wrap things up, guys. Garrett, let the people know where they can follow you.
You can follow me on my Twitter. We are LAFC Live, running polls, interacting. You like me, you hate me, and it doesn't really bother me. I, always just giving my opinion on things. So yeah, we are LAFC Live is a Twitter account.
Yeah, if you want to talk to Garrett about kits, definitely follow him. He is the go-to guy when it comes to kits. He knows everything about it.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Guys, if you guys want to follow me, obviously you guys can follow me on Twitter at Gio Garcia LA. Make sure to follow us on all things LA Soccer Hub, on Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media account you use, we're on there. And also make sure to give us a 5-star rating on this episode if you enjoy this podcast. It helps us grow the channel. So for Garrett, this is Gio. We'll catch you guys next time.